everyone, Jenna here, and I want to present to you my Waterblends #1 set of dynamic brushes for Photoshop. If you don't know what dynamic brush is, I'm going to explain to you, but also in my product has a little guide explaining to you the difference between dynamic and non-dynamic brushes. I will also have a video linked of this brush, how it behaves in Photoshop elements for you to check. It behaves a little bit different, but it still can use in a different way. So let's get it started. So I'm just going to hide this layer here and I'm going to start a new layer. So my brush sets, they comprise of stamps and dynamic brushes, and also you're gonna have this in the PDF, but always in my set I have a mixture of different texture brushes, D for dynamic, C for color, and I'm gonna explain. Some sets have blender brushes and pattern brushes. When I'm having, in this set particularly Waterblends, I don't have any blender brush or pattern brush, but for sure check my other brush videos so you can understand what that is. So my goal with these sets of dynamic brushes is to give you empowerment for you to do your pages and your artistic digital scrapbooking pages and have the freedom to blend and the freedom to mix designs and, you know, take more use of the supplies that you are buying with the brushes, and also give you artistic control. That's why I love to use the brushes when creating my layouts, not just for blending, but to create a whole new set of supplies just with the supplies you already have. And just as well for fun, because it is fun playing with brushes and color. I'm just gonna show here the dynamic brushes because the stamps you can play with it and they are self-explanatory. Before I start with the first one, let me just explain to you a dynamic brush. And in a less technical way, a dynamic brush is when the name already says, when the brush is dynamic. So you can use your mouse or you can use a Wacom tablet like I'm using here to take the painting where you want to go. Okay, you can make as big as you want, and you can also even make masks with it. Okay, and by the way, my dynamic brushes, they are commercial use, so you can use them to create your own masks and things that you wanted to sell. And I apologize for my tongues. So the difference is that I stamp a brush that is not dynamic. It's just gonna be one thing, right, that you keep stamping. And I wanted to say that to take full advantage of these brushes, of course you can use with a mouse, but it will be better to use with a Wacom tablet. I have 3 different sides of tablets, but in the day-to-day things, I just use a small Wacom tablet, really affordable and easy to use. And this one is wireless, which is even greater because you don't need a cord or anything. So let's get it started here. Just showing the different brushes that I have here. Put a color. So I have a set of dynamic scripts. And just playing with them here to show you, you're gonna see how you can start creating something. They are great for blending as well. This is one of my favorite sets that I created because their blending is so fantastic. And you can also create great backgrounds when you put together with my other brushes. And I want to show you here, let me just show you this other one. So this one, for example, is the C for color. So what I wanted to show is that C for color, that means that this brush can have 2 colors. So you can have a combination of hues when the colors meet. So for example, let's choose here blue, but I don't want a green, maybe a yellow. Okay, so if I get one of these brushes here, you can see that it changes, it starts blending the colors. Blue with yellow, it makes green. If I change this to a pink, then it's gonna get a little muddy. Then if I change this to a purple, then it's gonna mix purple with pink. And I can make red, and it creates all these different color combinations, okay? And in my Facebook group, I have a cheat sheet of color combinations that work great with this brush, this kind of brushes. But it gives you a great background right up the top. So I have this, again, texture brush, some great textures there. This one is my favorite to blend pictures and photos, and I'm gonna show this in a second. Put a darker color. These are great to create also your art journal pages. It's so much fun to play with brushes. So again, I have a color brush. I'm gonna get, and this one has this cool flowers. You see how it has the blue, the pink, but then creates a purple because of the combination. Some more texture brush. This is another type of flower. So I have here this huge picture, let me put it smaller, of my girl Sandy. Okay. So if I want to blend this picture, first I would start Option Alt and click on the mask and hide that. And I'm go here to my favorite, which is the number 5, Dynamic D. Gonna start small. Gonna paint with white to bring Sandy back. I'm gonna increase the flow here to 100. If you get to do this and your brush doesn't work, it's probably here is multiply, you just go to normal. So make sure when you're blending, and then I can bring her. If I reduce the flow here, I'm gonna have less concentration of the brush, and that is great for the edges here. And I for sure gonna do another one on blending, but what I like to do is play with putting and removing, so that's why masking is so great, because the secret of blending is not remove it completely and not put it back completely. So this way you have a nice blended look there. And put some touches of yellow here. And again, if you reduce the flow of this brush, it's not gonna be so intense, and you can reduce the opacity a little bit as well. Oh, I gotta probably wrong color. A more yellowish color. There you go. Still a tiny strong, so I'm gonna reduce the opacity here. I can even go on top of her, and then I can come here and change to overlay, and it give me that instant sun there. Okay, and this way also you can mix papers and do this kind of things with this brush. So I'm gonna just as my last example here. So I have here my water grunge papers. So I can bring this paper here because they already have the watercolor look. So I'm not gonna use the whole paper. So what I wanna do is, what I wanna do is just blend some color of this paper. There you go. So again, my favorite way is Alt Option and put a mask there. Grab a white and let's get the number 2 here. I know there's a flower here, so we can bring that flower back. Okay. And I can grab a texture brush to bring some of that paper back, but so I don't want it too strong now, the paper, so I gonna reduce the flow and gonna start bring some of that paper back. Again, nothing happening because I'm a multiply. Just bring it back, some of the paper, and this brush has a little texture, so it's gonna bring these touches of blue here. And on the corner there, I want a more concentrated here, and go back to remove it and just tap or reduce the opacity here just to remove it back. So I just do this to look imperfect. We don't want it to look very perfect. So this way you can see there the blending. So this is our Waterblends brush with Scrap Girls. So again, these are great. It has so many uses, and I would I would ask you to subscribe because I'm gonna be bringing more and more ideas for you to use these brushes and combine with the papers, combine with other brushes, and bring you amazing possibilities for your digital supplies. So I'll see you next time.